Welcome everyone to another video. Today in this video I will be showing you how you can download Windows 11 for free and install it on any computer. Now downloading Windows 11 is free, but you will need a key to install it. You can use some cheap keys that are available from the OEM vendors out there, but buying a retail Windows 11 key is going to be really expensive. I would suggest you to buy an OEM key that is going to cost you about 10 bucks. So that is not going to be very expensive, and you can get a fully legitimate version of Windows 11 up and running in about $10 to $15. So before putting the key in, you will need to download Windows 11 ISO, and I will be demonstrating each and everything the way you need to do in order to download Windows 11. So first up, go to Google, type in Windows 11 download, and you will need to go to the very first link which says microsoft.com Windows 11. After going to this link, you will be getting a few options. The most important thing I want to mention at this point is the fact that you should not upgrade to Windows 11. Upgrading to Windows 11 from Windows 10 is going to be a really problematic thing, because you will be having all the files of Windows 10 in your system, and then when you are going to upgrade to Windows 11, all those files are still going to be present, and there are a lot of bugs when you are upgrading to Windows 11 from Windows 10. So I would suggest you to just download Windows 11 ISO, boot it using a USB pen drive, and then just install Windows 11 as a fresh install. Don't upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11. You will be having a lot of issues. Once you have this page open, you will have to click create Windows 11 installation media, or you can also just directly download Windows 11 ISO. These days we are getting an option to download Windows 11 ISO. Previously it was not the case. So just select Windows 11 disk image, Windows 11 multi edition ISO, and then click download. Once you have clicked download, it is going to ask you for the product language. You can choose English obviously, or the language you prefer, and click confirm. Now it is going to ask you to download 64-bit. You can simply hit download, and you are going to see the ISO of Windows 11 has started downloading. It is going to take a few minutes time because it is a 5.2 gigabyte file. I think on a 100 Mbps plan it is not going to take more than 5-7 minutes. So I'm going to get back once the download has finished, and I'm going to talk about the remaining procedure once the download completes. So the Windows 11 ISO download has finally completed. Now it's time for me to plug in the thumb drive and get this ISO on that thumb drive using a software called Rufus. I will be telling you how to download Rufus, but before that there are a few tips that I want to share. Use a USB 3 port on your computer to plug that drive, and I would suggest you to use a USB 3 pen drive too, because the slower your pen drive, the slower will be the installation process, and overall it is going to take some more time than what it should. So use a USB 3 drive and use a USB 3.0 port too to put that pen drive into your PC. Now I'm going to do the same right now. So my thumb drive is right in my PC. I have installed the USB 3 pen drive and a USB 3 port, so I should get a decent transfer rate now. From here on, all you need to do is download a utility called Rufus. Now you may be wondering what Rufus is. Rufus is just a little program that you need to use in order to make that downloaded ISO into a bootable USB drive. So I'm going to make sure to download that program now. Simply type RUFUS. You need to go to this link rufus.ie, and then you will need to download. You can clearly see Rufus 3.19 is available. This is a really short utility program. It has already downloaded, and after downloading just click it. At this point you can see your thumb drive is going to be automatically selected if it is the only thumb drive that is installed in your PC. I have only single thumb drive, so it is automatically selected. I would suggest you to use at least an 8GB thumb drive or higher. Then you will need to select the ISO image. Simply click select and go to the destination where you downloaded the file. You can see in my case it is in the downloads folder. I will select it and will click open, and you will need to leave everything just like this. Leave it at NTFS, leave it at stock settings, and then simply click start. And I don't think there is any point in leaving anything unchecked here, so check everything and then just simply click OK. It is going to warn you that all the data on the USB thumb drive is going to get erased, and that is quite obvious. Simply click OK. This is going to take a few minutes, especially depending on the speed of your computer and the speed of your thumb drive. I guess it is going to take 5-7 minutes and your thumb drive is going to turn into a bootable Windows installation drive. So finally the USB drive is ready for use to install Windows 11. Now let me tell you, it took some time. It took about 8-7 minutes to complete, and I will suggest everyone to wait and be patient when you are creating the bootable USB drive like this. It might take time, and in my case it took about 7-8 minutes. If it is in your case taking about 10-15 minutes, that is also fine. It might depend on the fact that you are having a slower computer. Then in that case it might take long. So be patient and you're going to get a Windows 11 installation media ready. So this is it. This is how you create the installation media. Now I'm going to plug this USB drive in a laptop computer on which I need to install Windows 11 on. But before that, I will be searching for the boot menu key for my laptop computer. This is really important. So whatever laptop model you have, just simply type the laptop model and type the boot menu key. In my case, I have the HP Victus. So you will need to restart your computer and keep mashing the boot menu key after just plugging this USB drive in. Now here it is mentioned that I'll need to enter the BIOS and then I'll need to change the boot order. So you can see the default boot order is the OS boot manager, then the USB drive. I'll need to change it to USB drive and then we'll be switching to the boot manager later. So this is the procedure. I will be just getting this thumb drive onto my laptop computer on which I need to install Windows 11 on, and then I'm going to proceed with the Windows 11 installation. So finally it is time to install Windows, and to install Windows, if you have a fully functional computer running, then all you need to do is just restart your computer and just start mashing the boot menu key or the BIOS key. But in case you have a system that is not running, that is powered off, then just power it on while pressing the boot menu key. If you don't know the boot menu key, then I will suggest you to just Google it out first and then do this process. In my case, I am already aware of the boot menu key. I have already plugged my USB thumbstick in the laptop computer, and now I will be just restarting the computer. Now I'm going to press the F10 key constantly. I will need to go to the boot options. I've selected my USB flash drive to the boot device priority 1, and now I will be just save the changes and will exit. So now it should boot using the USB thumb drive that I have plugged in. So the Windows 11 setup has started, and this is going to be a full installation procedure on how to install Windows 11 on any computer, you can say. It is going to be relevant no matter what machine you got, a laptop or a desktop. So now it is asking for some language, time, and keyboard input methods. Language is obviously going to be English. So it has automatically detected, I guess, this laptop came with Windows 11 Home Single Language Edition. It has already selected that. We'll be pressing next. We'll agree to the terms and conditions. Now in my case, I want this entire 1 TB SSD to be a single partition. So I will be deleting each and every one of these partitions. So now Windows is copying files. At this point, it is going to copy all the files from the thumb drive to the SSD drive. This is going to take time depending on the speed of your computer, speed of your USB 3 drive. As I have already mentioned in the previous videos, make sure to use a USB 3 port and a USB 3 thumb drive in order to complete this task, because the slower your drive is, the more time this process is going to take. So at this point, all the files from the thumb drive are already copied to the SSD drive in my PC. This is going to proceed with the installation from here. And at this point, you don't need the thumb drive anymore. All the installation is going to go from that SSD drive or the hard drive if you are using it. So there is a little problem that I'm facing here, and it is important for me to just cover this right in front of you guys, because you can also come across this exact same thing. So my system got restarted after all the copying of files. Now it's time for me to change the boot priority menu back to the SSD drive in my laptop computer, because as I already changed it initially, it is constantly going to boot from the USB thumb drive. You can see it has booted from the USB thumb drive, and we are seeing the exact same installation screen. I don't want this. I'm going to close this, and it is going to restart again. And I'm going to make sure to press the F10 key to enter the BIOS and do the changes. I'm constantly mashing the F10 key here to enter BIOS. Alright, so here we are in the BIOS, and I'm required to change the boot menu options here. So I am going to just load setup defaults, and setup defaults are obviously going to boot from the OS boot manager and not from the USB thumb drive. So this is it. Now I'm going to save the changes, and I'm going to exit. Now the installation is going to resume, because we have already copied all the files from the USB thumb drive to the SSD drive. This time it is not going to boot from the USB thumb drive. This time it is booting from the SSD. This is going to be the Windows 11 installation. The copying of files has already completed. Now it is all the setting up procedure.